bell rings at 32. So you'll have probably 35 minutes to work on your homework. So that'll be good. Going into a break. They said okay?
Yeah.
I said 9:15. It was really
Yeah,
supposed
I know.
to be 10.
I said that.
You're
And
like,
I realized I was like, oh, wait.
why would you say such a thing? Okay, here we go. So we're going to talk about money today. Okay. Really quite easy. You just get a formula. You stick in what you know. There's only going to be one thing that you don't know, and you solve for that variable, basically. Okay. So there are two formulas right here. Okay, guys. So here's formula number 1. And here's formula number 2. So what you have to do is you have to decide which formula that you're supposed to use. And figuring that out is actually very simple, because if it says compounded continuously, then you use equation 2. And if it doesn't say continuously, then you use equation 1. Okay? So some of the variables are the same. So see this P right there? It's in both formulas. It's the principal. It's how much you start with. That's what P stands for, okay? R is the interest rate, but you have to be careful on that, guys. If it's 2.9%, if that's what they tell you, you move the decimal 2 places to the left. So as a decimal, that would be 0.029. So you have to make sure if it's given as a percentage, you convert it into a decimal, okay? N is the number of compounds per year. There is no N in equation 2 because it's just compounded continuously. And then T stands for time, and that's always in years. Remember that it's always in years. Okay? Yes, sir?
On the test, are we going to have these memorized?
Yes. Yeah. You have to have all formulas in here memorized. And there's actually a pretty horrendous one down at the bottom, and we'll talk about that. Okay? So yes, always all formulas you guys have to have memorized, except the difference quotient. They gave you that. So here's the difference, guys. Look right here. If the money is compounded continuously, listen what you do. You put the money in the account, and the second that money hits the account, you earn interest upon interest upon interest upon interest, and it just keeps going continuously. Okay? All these words down here, okay, annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, daily, these are all words that go with formula number 1, okay? So if it's annually, then your N, the number of compounds in a year, would be 1, okay? So listen what this means, okay? It's kind of a bummer. You've got $10,000. I love to give this example. You guys are going to graduate in like, how many months? Less than 2 months, less than 3 months, yeah. So you're going to graduate really soon. So your grandma gives you a check for $10,000 the day you graduate. And you're smart, so you're going to invest it, okay? So you're going to put it into an account that computes interest annually. So the day after graduation, you go straight to the bank and you put it in the bank, right? Everyone would do that, right? And it's going to sit there for 364 days. And it's not going to do anything. It's still going to be $10,000. Then finally, once it hits the year, then you're going to earn interest. That's what annual means. So semi-annually, your N would be a what? Talk to me. Be a 2, right? Semi means half, so it'd be twice. Quarterly, how many quarters make up a dollar? 4, right? And then monthly, how many months in a year? 12. And daily would be, talk to me. 365. So if you were in an account that computes daily, you'd put it in, and at the end of the first day, interest. Then at the end of the second day, interest. End of the third day, interest. Okay? Why wouldn't you always just do continuously if it's the best one? Goes, 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 goes. Somebody tell me. They're going to give you a lower rate on continuously. So then you have to try to compare, where am I going to make the most money? Yes, very good. Okay, so example 1. $1,000 is invested in an account for 10 years at an annual rate of 5%. How much money will you have if the interest is compounded annually, quarterly, daily? Okay. When you do these problems, you guys, the first thing I always want you to do is I want you to write the generic formula. Okay. So none of these say continuously. So every single one of these problems is going to be the exact same formula. and that's the top formula, okay? So I'm just going to write that formula down for all of them. And on Weber State, they say state the formula used. So if you don't quote that formula, the generic formula, you'll lose points, okay? So guys, if it's annually, you have $1,000, you're going to put it in for 10 years at a rate of 5%, okay? So how much am I going to have annually? So it's going to be A equals, principal is how much I start with, which is 1,000, 1 plus, the rate is not 5. Can somebody tell me what to put in for R? 0.05. If it's annually, your N is a 1, and that's raised to the 1 times time, which is a 10. Now, don't grab your calculator yet. Let's just set these all up and do the calculator all together, okay? So the next one, annual equals, you still have 1,000, 1 plus, the rate is still the same, 0.05. Now my N is a what, everybody? 4, raised to the 4 times time, which is a 10. Next one, new amount is your $1,000, 1 plus the interest rate, 0.05. Daily, my N is a, tell me? Come on guys, I'm talking to you. What's your N here? 365. Raised to the 365 times 10. Okay, now let's grab our calculator. Okay, so everybody do this. Everybody go 1,000, parenthesis, 1 plus 0.05. Do I have to put in divide 1? Does dividing by 1 change it, guys? Talk to me. No, it doesn't. Then close it off, raise it to the, then I want you to go 1 times 10, enter. And I get $10,500. Is that realistic? Can you turn $1,000 into $10,000 in 10 years? No. So you have to think about that. That's wrong. I did something wrong. Can anybody tell me what I did? Tell me. You need parentheses in the exponent. If you don't put parentheses right here, the calculator raised this stuff to the first power, and then it times the entire answer by 10 because the calculator didn't understand that that 10 is part of the exponent. Do you guys understand? Yes or no? So put parentheses around your exponent, okay? So go 1,000, parenthesis, 1 plus 0.05, close it off, raise it to the, now go parenthesis, 1 times 10, close it, enter, and there you go. If with money, we're always going to round it to the nearest cent. So it's 1,628.89. Put a $sign would be your label, and then you're done. Okay? I know you could have put in a 10, but I want you to practice putting it in as 1 times 10, you know, really stressing the fact that you need a parenthesis. Okay? Everybody go 1,000, parenthesis, 1 plus 0.05 divided by 4, close it, raise it to the parenthesis, 4 times 10, close it, enter, nearest penny is $1,643.62. Put in a $sign, and there you go. Next one, 1,000, parenthesis, 1 plus 0.05 divided by 365, close it, raise it to the parenthesis, 365 times 10, close it, enter, and your answer is $1,648.66. Add a $sign, and you're done. Okay, so obviously the higher the value of N, the more money you're going to end up with at the end of the investment. Okay, okay, here we go with example 2. Guys, listen, you're kind of quiet today, and I'm trying to go fairly quickly so you can get your homework done, but if we don't flow well, it's going to take forever. So if I ask you a question, I just want you to spit out the answer, and if not, then we'll just have to wait until you guys respond, because I need to know if you guys understand. Okay, okay, number 2. The parents of a newborn invest $5,000 in an account that earns 3% interest compounded monthly. Stop right there. The second I read compounded monthly, I'm going to write my formula down so I don't get confused. So it's A equals P, 1 plus R divided by N raised to the NT. Why didn't I use PERT? Because it didn't say what, everybody? Continuously. Good. If the money's left untouched, how much will the child have in the account in 60 years? You guys, by the way, the A stands for the new amount of money. So you start with the principal. So in this problem, you start with 5,000, and the 5,000 is going to turn into A, the new amount. Okay? So this is 1 plus the interest rate, which is 0.03. Everybody in the room, tell me out loud, what's my value of N? 12, thank you. And that's raised to the 12 times, talk to me? 60. Very good. Grab your calculator. Make sure you know how to put this in. So you go 5,000, parenthesis, 1 plus 0.03 divided by 12, close it, raise it to the parenthesis, 12 times 60, close it, enter. We're talking about money, so it's $30,180.37. Add a dollar sign, and there you go. Okay, question 3. If the parents of the newborn above found an account that pays continuously, how much would be in the account? What's the very first thing I'm going to write on my paper? Tell me. The formula, right? So it's PERT, A equals PE to the RT. Okay, so it's going to be my new amount is the original, which is 5,000, E to the rate, which is 0.03, times time, which is 60. Everybody stop for a second. Is the answer to 3 going to be higher than the answer to 2, or is it going to be lower? Somebody tell me. It's going to be higher because the interest is compounded more often. Okay, so everybody go 5,000, then you go second ln. Now stop right there. Do you see when you hit second ln, the calculator automatically begins the parenthesis in your exponent? That's good, so then we don't mess up. So we go 0.03 times 60, then we close it, hit enter, and your answer is 30,248.24. Add a dollar sign, and there's your answer. Okay? I want to ask you a question. Everybody look at that number on your calculator. It was 0.237. If you owned the bank, would you really give them 24? Would you do that? No, you would not, because you'd be giving them a penny. Big deal, right? What if you had millions and millions of accounts? Then that 1 penny, all that rounding, is a lot of money out of your pocket. So do you think the bank is really going to round? No. We're going to round. Okay? We're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Do you think the bank rounds? No way. I do not think they round. Okay? All right, here we go. Is this easy, everybody? Okay. Number 4. Find the principal needed to get $1,000 after 10 years at 3% compounded daily. Now we're going to slow down just a little bit. What am I going to start with? Everybody talk to me. The formula. Do I use PERT or do I use the other one? The other one. So everybody write A equals P parenthesis 1 plus R divided by N raised to the NT. Now everybody stop right there for a second. Look at all the variables I have. I have an A, I have a P, I have an R, I have an N, and I have a T. Okay, 5 numbers, 5 variables. One of those variables, just one of them, is going to stay a variable. I don't know which one yet. I have to read the problem. But whatever variable stays a variable, that's the guy that I'm going to solve for. Okay? So I want to get $1,000. Where do I put my 1,000? That's my new amount. Beautiful. Okay? And read the question. Find the principal. So I know my P is going to be a P. Now I better have numbers for R and N and T because I can't have 2 variables in one problem, right? So this is 1 plus, 3% is 0.03. Somebody tell me my value of my N, 365 because it's daily, right? Raised to the 365 multiplied by time, which is a 10. I want you to look at that. It's hard to see, but once we show you, then you're going to be like, oh, well, that's easy. Okay? Can anybody see what to do? Go ahead. By the terribleness, huh? So look at this. Everybody look at that. Is there a variable anywhere in what I just highlighted? No. Now, it's not 10, but let's just say what I highlighted was 10, just because, you know, we want an easy number. So I'd have 1,000 equals 10 times P. How would I solve that for P? Divide by 10, okay? So it's clearly not a 10, but it's going to be something, you know, kind of complicated over there. So it's going to be P equals 1,000 divided by all that stuff. 1 plus 0.03 divided by 365 raised to the 365 times 10. Now I'm going to give you some advice, okay? See that bottom stuff? I'm going to put it in my calculator on its own, and I'm going to store it. Then I'm going to plug it into the formula. I think it's just going to be so much easier that way. So let's do that. Everybody go parenthesis. 1 plus 0.03 divided by 365. Close it. Raise it to the. Tell me what button to hit right now. Parenthesis. Thank you. 365 times 10. Close your number. Now you can hit enter, store enter, or you can just hit store enter. Okay? So that decimal was 1.349. Now I'm going to evaluate my fraction. So I'm going to go 1,000 divided by membar enter, enter, and there it is. So it's $740.83. And we're going to round even though we shouldn't, but there it is. Now, everybody listen to this. I'm sure you all want to do well on quiz 3, okay? I can check this question right here in seriously about 20 seconds, okay? See that on your calculator, that big number, 740.827? Everybody hit membar. Don't hit enter though. Go right enter, okay? And then hit, oh crap, I said membar and I meant to say store. Crap. If you hit membar, you messed up just like me. Although if you go up, up, there you got it. So I went up, up to re-access it. So I've got that number. Okay, oh no, sorry. Okay, it's 740.82. I've got that number now back on my calculator. Okay, so do this. Hit store, sorry I messed up. Hit store. Go to the right and hit enter. So now I've stored that number in for B. So now look what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it right here, and this I stored in as a B, and this I stored in as an A. So if I take B and multiply it by A, I better get 1,000. So all you have to do is go membar enter, membar right enter, enter, and I got 1,000. So all I did is just plug it back in, and now I know without a doubt that I got that right. Who's with me? Raise your hand up high. Sorry, that was a little rough, but I think you guys get it. Okay, question 25. How long will it take $25,000 to grow to $500,000 at 9% interest compounded monthly? Okay, everybody talk to me. What do I do at the beginning every single time? Formula. Okay, so everybody write A equals P 1 plus R divided by N raised to the NT. If you mess up on the formula, you're probably going to get nothing. So you've got to make sure that formula is great, okay? One variable. You guys, how long? Look right here. I know that my T is going to be a T. Now I have to have a number for A and P and R and N. So how long will it take 25,000? That's my principal. To grow to $500,000 at 9% interest. So my rate is 0.09. Compounded monthly, my N is a 12. Okay, so fill in those N's. So look what I've got. Okay, don't do anything. Okay, don't write for a second, and I want you to look at this. Okay, there's going to be a big step. The biggest step I have left in solving this. What is my biggest step that I have left? Can you tell? I'm solving for T, and my T is stuck in my exponent. What's the only way I'm going to get that out of the exponent? Say it again. Say it. You're right. Yes. So you're going to have to convert it. It's stuck in the exponent. It's an exponential form. You're going to be stuck, and you're going to have to convert it. It's okay. It's easy. What am I going to ask you right now? Talk to me. Are we stuck, and what's the answer to the question? No. So everybody write 1 plus 0.09 divided by 12 raised to the 12t is equal to 500,000 divided by 25,000 is 20. Okay, now I'm stuck. Everybody look at this. Do I want to really write log base 1 plus 0.09 divided by 12 of 20? Not really. I'm going to see if that's a nice number. So everybody go 1 plus 0.09 divided by 12, enter, and it's a nice number. What makes something a nice number? It ends, and that ends. So see that yellow stuff? I'm replacing it with 1.0075 raised to the 12t is equal to 20. Now it's so much more clear to see. I've got an exponential form and I'm stuck. So this is log base 1.0075 of the other side, which is a 20, is equal to 12t. What do I do to solve for t now, everybody? Divide. Yes, thank you. Log base 10075 of 20 divided by 12. Okay, now I'm going to put this in my calculator. You're going to have to input parentheses around the top. Okay, so go parenthesis, then you go log 20, close it, divided by log 1.0075, close the 1.0075, close the top, divided by 12, enter. Let's say the directions told you to round to 2 digits. You never round unless they tell you. Okay, we're going to pretend like it was there. And it would be 33.41. Look what people do. They go 33.41 months. They write months because it's compounded monthly. It is not months. It's always what? Can you tell me? It's always years. Why is it years? I can answer the question so easily. Look at this. That percentage is called an APR. What does that stand for? APR. Annual percentage rate. So that's years. Okay? So that's why. Okay, question 6. $500 is deposited into account that pays 6.75% compounded continuously. How long will it take the money to double? Okay, start with the formula. So A equals PE to the RT. You guys, they're asking how long. So look, my E is obviously going to be an E. That's a number, right? 2.7. They're asking how long. So I know my T is going to be a T. So I have to find my R and my P and my A, and then I have to solve it. $500 is what I put in. That's my principal. 6.75% is my R, but I have to move it, so it's 0.0675. I'm out of numbers, and I don't have something for A. What do I put there? It is double, so what do I put here? 1,000. It's going to double. It started with 500, and it's going to double. Good. Everybody stop right there. The second I look at that, I know I'm going to have to convert it because my variable is stuck in the exponent. Should I convert it right now? What do? Divide by 500. So I have E to the 0.0675t is equal to 1,000 divided by 500, which is 2. What am I going to ask you? Are we stuck? And what's the answer? Yes, we are. So it's log base E of 2. What's log base E? ln. You can write it like that if you want to. ln 2 is equal to 0.0675t. To solve for t, divide. So the exact answer is ln 2 divided by 0.0675. I have seen Weber State say, write your answer in exact form, and then write it as a decimal rounded to 2 digits. So let's do that. This would be years. And then I would put a box around it and I would put exact. Why is it exact? Because I haven't rounded yet. Okay? And then let's put it in. So everybody go ln 2, close it, divided by 0.0675, hit enter, and it would be 10.27, and that would be years. Okay? Now everybody stop right there. Watch how easy it is to check. Okay? Take that right there. Hit store, enter. Put in that highlight. 500, second, ln, 0.0625, 0675, sorry. Memvar, enter, close it, enter, bam. Got 1,000. Check my answer. Okay? Who says this is a breeze? Raise your hand. Okay, good. Question 7. Would you make more money in an account paying 2.75% interest compounded daily, or in the account that pays 2.25% compounded continuously? Draw a line right there. You guys, please present this in a very clear way, okay? Split it, label it, okay? So we're going to label this guy 2.75% daily, and we're going to label this guy 2.25% continuously. Okay? Let's write our formula. A equals P, 1 plus R divided by N raised to the NT. Continuously is going to be PERT. Okay? Would you make more money? So they want the new amount. Okay? So I'm going to fill in what I know. I have a 1 plus 2.75%, so that's 0.0275. Compounded daily, so that's 365. Raised to the 365, and now I don't have any more information. I don't have a T, and I don't have a P. So how in the world am I supposed to do this? Go ahead. You're close. I can't solve, I don't want to solve for T because then I have a T and I have an A, and that's craziness. You know what I'm saying? So, go ahead.
Well, I can put any number in for P.
Okay, give me a number. You make it up, honey. 10? You're poor. $10? That's okay. I'm just teasing. It doesn't matter. And then talk to me about the T. Keep going, honey. You're doing great.
Then you put, I think you divide it by 2, and that's A, and then you solve for T.
Somebody help her. It's not that bad. It's not that as hard as you're making it. What do you do for T? She just said put in a 1. What did you say? Put in a 1. Anybody want to say, like, put in a 10 or put in a 5 or put in a 20? Doesn't matter. Put in a whatever. I don't like 10 and 1 because they're too small. You know what I mean? I want to get a substantial difference. So I'm going to make this 1,000. There's nothing wrong with 10. 10 is fine. I just don't like it because it's going to be like $11.42 versus, you know what I'm saying, $11.23. I just want a bigger difference. For time, I'm going to put in 10. You can put in whatever you want. How, everybody stop right there. How is it okay to just make those numbers up? I don't get that. Talk to me. As long as they're the same on the other side, then it doesn't matter. Good, let's do it. Principal, what did I use over there? $1,000. E to the rate, you know what people put right here? 0.0275. Is that what that is? They get mixed up. This is 0.0225. And I put a 10 in for time. So as long as I'm consistent, it doesn't matter. Let's do the left. Everybody go 1,000, parenthesis, 1 plus 0.0275 divided by 365. Close it, raise it to the parenthesis, 365 times 10, close it, enter, and you get $1,316.52. Okay, let's see the next one. 1,000, second ln, 0.0225 times 10, close it, enter, and you get $1,252.32. People box those answers and then they say, yay, I'm done. Are you done? Did you answer the question? Yes or no, guys? You did not. What's the answer to the question? The one on the left, right? So I'm going to say 2.75% compounded daily. Will make more money. So you can't just box it and feel like you really reported your answer. You've got to say which one it actually was. Okay? All right, let's keep going. Example 8. Is this easy? Guys, tell me. It's an easy way to end right before break, right? You have $500 to invest. You'd like to turn your $500 into $1,000 in 20 years. What APR would you have to receive if your interest is compounded annually? First thing you write down is the formula. This one's a little bit tough. A equals P 1 plus R divided by N raised to the NT. They want the APR. So guys, look. I'm going to do my parenthesis, 1 plus the R is what I'm looking for. I have to find my A and my P and my N and my T. $500 is my P. You want to turn it into $1,000. That's your A. Time is 20 years and it's compounded annually. So somebody tell me what my N is. It is a 1. Okay. Now, what am I going to ask you right now? Are we stuck? And what's the answer to the question? No. What do? Divide by 500. So 1 plus R, R over 1 is just R, raised to the 20th is equal to 1,000 divided by 500, which is 2. Right? What in the world do I do now? If you're going to say convert, then it would look like this. Did that do me any good? No. That R is still entangled in something. So it is not, that was not a good choice. Anybody have any idea? Say it again. Say it really loud. You want to isolate the R. You're exactly right. So what's preventing the isolation from happening? Tell me, honey. The 20, right? How do I get rid of the 20? That's right. That's right. It's so funny. I don't know if you guys know, but you don't have to speak sometimes when you're doing math. You can just talk. So look what Allie just did. She went like this. And I'm like, yeah, she totally knows what she's talking about. What did you just do? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how to say it. Like 20,
just try.
20 or whatever.
It's like a square root, but it's not a square root. It's a 20th root. Yeah. So you take the 20th root of both sides. This is super important. So you have 1 plus R equals. What comes right after the equals? Guys, everybody talk to me. Is it supposed to be a plus or minus? Because it's even. So it's plus or minus the 20th root of 2. Now what do? Trying to solve for R. So I do what? You move your 1. So you have R equals -1 plus or minus the 20th root of 2. How many answers am I going to get? Tell me that. 2 of them. Let's put this in. Everybody go -1 plus. Do you remember how to do the 20th root? What do? What do you put in first? 20. Then you hit second. Then you hit the up arrow, the caret button, the power button. Yep. Then put in a 2. Then hit enter and you get 0.03526. I'm going to carry it out quite a while. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Okay, clear your calculator out and stick with me. -1 plus 20. Second, go down 4 buttons to this button right here, the power button. Hit that, then put in a 2, and then hit enter. Okay? No, you don't have to, because if you look, there was no parenthesis to begin with. Now if you go up, then go right in front of that plus, make it a minus, hit enter, and you get -2.03526. Talk to me. Invalid. Which one's invalid? Negative interest rate. A negative interest rate is not going to help you to grow. So this is invalid solution. Okay. Now, on the directions, it's going to say write as a percentage rounded to 2 places past the decimal. is 0.035 to 6, is that a percentage? How do I move it? How do I make it a percentage? Move it to the right. So it would be 3.53%, and that's your answer. How easy would it be to check? Really easy. Store it in, put it in, oops, I didn't mean to erase. Put it in right here. Make sure that you get a 2, and you got it. Or you could plug it in here and make sure you get 1,000, either one, okay? No, but you're crazy not to. The entire quiz, almost the entire quiz is solving, and almost every single question is checkable, okay? Okay, here we go, guys. Okay, question 9. If you have $10,000, what APR do you need to receive in order to have $12,000 in 40 years? And it doesn't tell you how this is compounded. That's unfortunate. So we're going to say, doesn't really matter. It's going to be about the same procedure. I'm going to go the toughest route just so you're okay. We're going to say compounded daily. Okay? So you have new amount is P times 1 plus R divided by N raised to the NT. Okay? You have $10,000. That's your principal. You want to turn it into $12,000. Then you have 1 plus, the APR is what they need. That's your R. Daily, your N is 365. Raised to the 365 times time, which is a 4. Okay? So we have, this is just going to be such a mess. Okay, I'm changing this. It's just too bad. We're going to say continuously. You were going to have to take like the 13th hundred root or something like that on this thing. So we'll just change it to continuously. Okay, so the new amount is PE to the RT. Okay, so you want $12,000. If you start with $10,000, E, you want the rate, and the time is 4. Okay, the second I look at that, I know I'm going to have to, tell me, convert. Right now? No, what do you do first? Divide. So you have E to the 4R, 12,000 divided by 10,000, you can just go 12 divided by 10 and you get 1.2. If that ends up as a nice number, write it as a nice number. If it doesn't, write it as a fraction. Okay? Log base E of 1.2, that's ln 1.2 is equal to 4R. Divide by 4, so you have the ln of 1.2 divided by 4. So go ln 1.2, close it, divided by 4, enter, and you get 0.04558. Let's say they said write it as a percentage rounded to 2 places, so that would be 4.56%. There's your answer. Is it checkable? Absolutely. Put it into the right hand side. Make sure you get 12,000 done. Okay? All right, this one right here. Look at that formula. Okay? It's something else. Now, I'm going to tell you. When I first started teaching this course, and I typed up the workbook, which took me a really long time, I did not have this formula written. I didn't have this example written in there. Then I looked at the 100 problem review, and there was a problem like that on the 100 problem review, and I'm like, I better get that in there because I don't want to feel bad. Guess what happened? Last semester, last year, this time last year, when they took their final, and I was talking to the other teachers, some of the schools had this question on their final. They had that on their final. And they said, they were like, the teachers were totally mad. And they're like, yeah, we had an annuity question. And I looked at her, I'm like, you guys had an annuity question? And she was like, yes. I was like, oh, I'm so glad we didn't have an annuity question. So it could be on there. Okay. Is the question tough? No. The question is not tough. It is not a hard thing to do. The toughest part about this question is obviously memorizing that lovely formula. Okay. So, on the quiz, on the test, my stuff, I am not going to make you memorize that thing. Okay. On the final, you better have it memorized, because this will be a 10 to 12 point question out of 150 problems. So if you don't have it memorized, you just lost 10% of your test score for a memorization thing. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have that thing memorized, you're going to get it right. There's no question. Okay? Let me tell you what an annuity is. Everybody listen, because people get confused on this. Here's an annuity. I want to retire one day. So every month, I'm putting in $250 into an account, the first of the month. Here it is. I'm just making this information up. Here it is. Here it is. So it's not like I dump $10,000 and never touch it. I put in $250 on the first, and then again, and then again. So an annuity is something that you add to on a regular schedule, whatever that schedule is. Besides that, it's a breeze. Okay? All you have to do is just plug it in. Okay? So let's go ahead and just do this. Putting this in your formula is a little bit tough. Okay? So we have your new amount. The P is how much Sue is putting in, which is $225. Then I want you to put a big, huge bracket like that. Then I want you to put your fraction, and then I want you to put a parenthesis, just like you see. Now, guys, look. This part of the formula is the same. P times 1 plus R divided by N raised to the NT. So it's just a little bit different. So this is 1 plus, the interest rate is 0.0425. It's compounded monthly, so my N is a 12, raised to the 12 times time, which is 25, but then you have to subtract 1. Okay, like that. Then on the bottom, it's the rate, which is 0.0425, divided by N, which is 12. There are 3 places that I have to insert parentheses, and I want you to actually write it on your paper because I think it's going to be better. So tell me, someone raise your hand and tell me where to do that. On the bottom. 2 more places. On the top. And the other one we've already done, around the exponent. Okay, now everybody look forward. Please don't touch your calculator. Watch my pen. This is easy to put in. Watch my pen. Don't touch your calculator. Watch. 225. Parenthesis, parenthesis, parenthesis. 1 plus 0.0425 divide 12. Close parenthesis, new parenthesis, 12 times 25. Close parenthesis, minus 1, close parenthesis. Divide parenthesis, 0.0425, divide 12, close parenthesis, close parenthesis. So you just follow the line. That's all you have to do. The only thing I do differently than what you can see is right there. I don't put the 25 in parentheses. I just hit 12 times 25. It's easier. Okay? Here we go. Let's do it together. 225. Parenthesis, parenthesis, parenthesis. 1 plus 0.0425 divided by 12, close parenthesis. Raise it to the parenthesis, 12 times 25, close parenthesis, minus 1, close parenthesis. Divided by parenthesis, 0.0425 divided by 12, close parenthesis, enter. So after 25 years, look what she's going to have. She's going to have $119,954.30 to retire on. Okay, so is that hard? No. The parentheses are kind of a pain, you know what I mean, figuring out how to put it in, but the hardest part about that whole problem is the formula, for sure. Okay? Okay, last question, and then we're done. Sorry, it's taking a little longer than what I thought. Okay, so here's the deal. All this money stuff is confusing, okay? And the average person is going to get super, super confused by it, okay? So they passed a law saying that they have to be able to give you the effective rate. And the effective rate It's just a very easy way of figuring out which one is the better deal, basically. Okay, so what you're going to do is on example 11, you're going to take that formula and you're going to apply it to account 1 and to account A and account B. Okay, so I'm going to put some of mine up here. Okay, so account A, the effective rate is, parenthesis, 1 plus the rate is 0.07. It's compounded quarterly, so that's a 4. Raised to the n, which is a 4, minus 1. Let's set up question B. So the effective rate is, parenthesis, 1 plus the rate, 0.068, divided by n, which is a 12 because it's monthly, raised to the 12th, minus 1. Okay, now just stick it in your calculator. So go parenthesis, 1 plus 0.07 divided by 4, close it, raise it to the 4th, minus 1, enter, and you get 0.071859. I carried it out a lot. Next one, parenthesis, 1 plus 0.068 divided by 12, close it, raise it to the 12th, minus 1, enter, and you get 0.07015859. So if you turn these into percentages, this would be 7.19%. This would be 7.01%. Which one are you going to make more money on, guys? A. You're done. That's your lesson. Okay? Easy or hard? Talk to me. Pretty easy, right? Just that formula is a little horrendous. Okay, here's the deal. Who says, I'm anxious to get started on this homework, even if it's only 20 minutes, because that's the last stuff that I have to do over break. Who says, I just want to get on this? Okay, I agree. So here are your test corrections from your midterm. I'll even kind of blow this off until, you know, I'll probably have this due like the Friday after we get back from break. So still like 8 days, 8 school days. So if you want to work on these, you may. If you want to work on your homework, you may. You have about 15 minutes, so I want you to get started on it, okay? Everybody turn your desks, okay, and do something. There are some books, there are your tests, whatever it is that you want to do, okay?